Hey, it's Kanesha here from boldlivingtoday.com. So, are you in the throes of back to school? I know I am. I have two kids. It's that time of year where we're hustling, getting everything back together. We're coming off our summer, easy, leisurely schedule and just really moving forward and really starting the school year strong, but also reestablishing our schedule and really trying to make sure that the kids have a successful time back to school, as well as being supportive of the teachers and all the things that they have planned for kids. So I just want to talk to you today about some fun things you can do to ease back into back to school or to continue your back to school routine. And I made a little list here, and I made the list while I was waiting for my daughter at her orthodontist appointment. So hey, I was multitasking, relaxing, writing down some fun things I wanted to do, and I want to share them with you. So the first thing I think you can do is you have your kids, you want to make healthy lunches, you want to make sure that they have enough fuel to go through their day. Something that you can add to help fuel their day are lunchtime notes. You can write a little note to your son or daughter, put it into their lunchbox, and so they can find a lovely surprise when they're eating lunch, perhaps in a chaotic situation in the cafeteria, or when they're just exhausted from having a full morning or whatever the case is. But take a moment to play with the lunchtime notes. I think it'll be fun for you to do. If you're thinking about them, you know they'll be thinking about you once they find the note in their lunchbox as a little surprise. The other thing I wrote is that if you have a young one like I do, I have my son going into kindergarten, and he's a little nervous, and I'm a little nervous for him. I will be completely honest. But what I'm doing for him is he likes to collect rocks. So what I've done is painted one of the rocks that he collects. He doesn't know that I've done this. And I painted it, and I wrote, "We love you" on one side, and I wrote his name on the other side. And I'll put that in his backpack, so when he's having a hard time, or maybe he's missing us, or feeling like, why did they leave me here in this place all day, he can access that stone. It's something for him to look at, maybe something for him to even touch, but that'll give him comfort in knowing that we're there. And he's a pre-reader, so he's not quite reading yet. So I did write love with a heart, so I know he'd be able to understand that. So I think that'll be sweet and fun for him. Another thing you can do if you have older children and they might have smartphones or whatever mobile device they're using and they might be using in the classroom, is you can make a podcast for them. It can be 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever you want. You could be reading quotes to them that are empowering, that helps them have a bold day at school, or you can give them tips or whatever, just a love sentiment. Whatever the case may be, they like things fast and digital, typically the tweens and the teens. So making your own podcast can be fun and easy. You could do it on your own mobile phone, which is simple to upload, or you might want to check out a service like freeconferencecall.com. The other thing I had was, you get at dinner time, you've been away from your kids all day, you want to know how their day went. You say, "So how did your day go?" And they go, "It was okay," and they don't give you much details. So one thing we're going to try out this year is I'll give my daughter, most of my daughter because she is a reader at 8th grade, is give her a grid, a bingo grid with a 4x4, so it'll have 16 squares. And you can decide how many squares you want to have. I think 16 is manageable for her. And as she's going through her day, she can just write down a little note of something she did in each of the 16 squares. And then while I'm at home and the rest of the family's at home, we can write down things that we think she may have done. And then during the dinner conversation, I could read something off my bingo grid, and then if she has it, she can mark it down, or she can read things off her bingo grid, and if I have it on mine, or if my husband has it on his bingo grid, we can mark it down. And that way, it just is a fun way to facilitate a conversation, so you can hear about how your kid's day has gone. And if you want, you can keep track of who's won throughout the week, and then maybe that person who's won the most can decide a family event or a outing or field trip you might want to go on, maybe to get some frozen yogurt or something like that. Another thing, since my family is really into making things and crafting, I try to be as organized as possible, but sometimes the stuff does accumulate and gets away from me. So what I've purchased is a shoe organizer, and I've gotten one that has plastic sleeves so that I can see what's in them, and then we've hung it on one of our bulletin boards in the kitchen. And so it has different supplies that we'll need to use readily. Stapler, markers, tape, glue sticks, index cards, different things like that. We've also put my daughter's middle school schedule in there, so it's easy for us at home to see where she's doing and things like that. So I think that's also a fun and easy way to help you get organized. The last thing I just want to encourage you to do is, if you have a pre-reader, and I've already mentioned the bingo, maybe you might want to create an I Spy game. And what I mean by this, I hope you know the rules of I Spy, but what we're going to do is each day of the week, of the school week, we'll put down I Spy, and each person can contribute what they think they want to spy. So maybe it's a book, maybe it's a teacher, maybe it's a ruler, maybe it's an orange card, whatever the case may be. Put something down and then have the family members, as they go through their day, see if they see any of those things. And that way it can help people focus, and when you get home, that's another way to have a good conversation piece during dinner. So these are just some back to school tips that are fun and creative and kind of get off the list of pack a lunch at night, pack your backpack, and things like that. It's back to school doesn't have to be hard and stressful. It can be fun, it can be nurturing, and it can be creative. So I hope some of these tips have been helpful. And if you have any fun, exciting tips, please share them with me. I'd love to connect with you. I'm on boldlivingtoday.com. You can also find me on my Facebook page for Bold Living Today. I'm on Twitter at Kanesha Baynard. And then also, I am running a back to school class on reducing stress. So check out that information. The link is down here. And let me know if you have any questions. I'd love to hear from you.